Hi everybody and welcome to Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig. My name is Leslie Ray and this is a special um, Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig. We're focusing on Christmas ornaments tonight. I had started sharing with you all some ornaments and stuff, and we got just so carried away doing some other things as well, and not enough time in the day. And so we are revisiting ornaments because there's a lot of ornaments I wanted to share with you all and just ran out of time. So what I'm doing is I had made several years ago, when my son was really young, we had made some borax crystal ornaments. And borax crystals are very, very sparkly. Now, this ornament was made on a red chenille stem. And it's all nice and fuzzy and everything. And the way you make this be crystallized like this, and listen, see, it's really, 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 really crystalline. And the way this happens is that you make what they call a supersaturated solution. And what that is you put stuff in to your water, and the stuff being, in this case, borax crystals, or not crystals, but borax powder, like multine borax, and you put that in until your water will take no more borax. And what you do is you just stir and stir and stir and stir and stir, and then finally it gets to a point where no more borax will go in, and you see it start to settle down at the bottom. And that's exactly what you want. And so once it does that, you have what they call supersaturated the water. And what it does is the water heats up, it supersaturates, it holds the crystal or the powder, and then as it cools down, it crystallizes. And it crystallizes and it attaches itself to whatever. And my husband made this one for me to show as an example, and I posted this up on the blog. But in here you can see he used, here he just used tiger tail. Normally we use just a piece of cotton string or whatever. Tonight I'm going to use a piece of just DMC floss that I had hanging out near my crafty table. But here he used a piece of tiger tail, but you can look in here and see those little crystals right there along that string of wire. It made, that be a part of the crystal. So keep in mind, when anything is dangling, I could go in here and cut this if I wanted to get that out. But anything that dangles is going to, of course, become crystalline. It attaches really nicely to pipe cleaners and their fuzziness. So this is really cool. This he just like looped in circles, but it's not coming apart right here. Okay, it's not. If you do these with colored pipe cleaners like this, of course it looks like, like this one almost looks like a weird frosted donut. But if you took it and made it a heart shape, it would be gorgeous for cards or, just little ornaments to give away as Valentine's, different things like that. I've done green ones for St. Patrick's Day that come out really pretty. Blue ones are gorgeous, of course. And then this, on white, it looks like a beautiful snowflake. Also, if you do white and just do a straight one, of course, it would be an icicle. My mom used to have on her tree these icicles. I don't even know if we have any more of those icicles. See, Mom's in the room. I say, ooh, we've got lots of people in the room that I haven't said hi to. Hi, everybody. We have an extreme lag here on time. I noticed that it was about probably 10 minutes from the time I said hi to my aunt to when y'all said hi to my aunt. So if somebody at the end of the show will please make a point, what I'll do is I'll ask logo, and when you actually see my end logo come back up, if you will type logo in the chat, I'll know to turn the recording off. Because if I stop when I think I stop, it just shuts down and y'all don't see the whole show and the whole show doesn't get recorded. So we have a huge lag. But hi everyone, I'm glad to see Sigrid made it, and I've got some new guys in there, and Sandy got up. Yay, Sandy. So if I missed catching you come in, I love you all. I'm honored that you're here with me tonight, and let's have fun making some of these. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Mom, when we get to this part, if you want to type in about these, this is probably the closest thing that I can think of these glass icicles that Mama used to have that we put on our tree. It was gorgeous, and they catch the light so well. From year to year, I wrap them in tissue. Some of the ones I haven't gotten them out of the box lately, but some of them don't wear so well, but some of them will wear okay. You just got to treat them gently as you would like a gentle glass crystal thing. They are little crystals. You can run them under the water. If they get dusty, they'll be okay. But, yeah, this is going to be fun. So tonight what I'm using is some white chenille stems. And as you see, these I just pulled out of the bucket. Originally I thought I was going to have to do this in brown because I couldn't find the nice big package of white, which I think SAM took off with. I'm using a piece of string, and I'm just using some red string. It's not a big deal. And here I have a wide mouth jar. And why it's wide mouth is because I need for my ornament to come in and out. So if you're using a jar with a smaller mouth, make sure it comes out. Or if you're using a jar with a smaller mouth, make that for like your icicles if you want to do just straight icicles, okay? Sandy, the folder I showed, I was trying out for the design team for USA Art Quest. And before I left to go to the dinner with the Cub Scouts, I had not heard anything. We might hear something later, but there was a whole lot of really talented people that came out for that. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make the cut or not. I was in the maybe pile, but don't know. Amanda also tried out with me, and I know she was in the maybe pile yesterday too. So that's all we know. We're maybes, but it'll be good either way. I have a beautiful project for myself, which is very unusual. So anyway, so your jar, make sure it's wide enough for your ornament. So when I get ready to work on this and I cut these, I don't want them actually touching the jar, because if they're actually touching the jar, then the crystals will form on the side of the jar. And in fact, this was the jar that Bill used, and the crystals build up in the bottom. And the best way to get them out is for you to add more water and let it sit like overnight, and then it dissolves out, or otherwise you're going to be trying to chip away at it and possibly break your glass. So you want this to not touch the edges, okay? And then you will build whatever you're going to build. So I'm going to build my snowflake. And I'm just using some cheapy old dollar store scissors to do this with. Will, I'm going to be ready for hot water here pretty soon, Will. My assistant is on standby. Or at least I hope he is. And you can build your snowflake any way you want. We've done this where we've had several large jars, And when we have large jars, we make sure we, if we do 2 ornaments in there, we make sure we put them as far apart as we possibly can. And so what I want to do, and this is just bending some pipe cleaners. I have done this with Will's Montessori class, so 3, 4, 5-year-olds, okay? And they made incredible little ornaments. So see, I've got my little ornament like this. I'm making sure it's not touching the sides here. It'll be able to dangle just fine. All right. Will. Okay. Now, this is really a pretty simple little 6-pointed ornament. Okay.
Water?
Yeah, I'm about ready for the water. And you could add extra prongs. You could make it go out if you wanted to. Make it 3-dimensional this way. You know, make it as dimensional as you want it. And now I'm just going to very simply make a loop to attach it to my ornament. I'm just now hearing him heat up water. I may have to twist his nose off. Since we may be sitting here waiting a minute, Molly, I'll show you my ATC die up close.
Water.
It has to boil. I asked you to heat it up, not just pour it into a pan just now.
It was heated up. It boiled down.
Okay, and this, I've used this with a pencil or whatever. This is just a bamboo skewer that I've been rolling beads on, and I broke it off, so it will just sit there on this. But when you put this in, I'm putting it in, let's see, let me hold it up and do this. I'm putting it in where it dangles. See how it dangles? Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to, and the easiest thing for me to do is to do like a loop this way, where I've just kind of flipped it over like this, and then tie a knot underneath so that it goes together here. And then I check it again to make sure it's not touching the bottom. And in that process, it actually is touching the bottom a little bit, so I'm going to pull it up. Okay. So here it is, dangling from my string. Here's the bottom of my jar right here. Okay. So that's about perfect, in my opinion. That makes it work the easiest. And I'm going to tie another little knot right there just to kind of secure it. This knot, this does not have to be your loop for your ornament. You can come back in and put ornament loops on later, however you want to do it. The reason I wrap it a couple of times before I put a knot underneath here is because it, what it does is when I slide this off, all of that comes unlooped and it makes a bigger loop, and then that I can use for my stuff. Sigrid, I just read that you're not feeling well. I am so sorry. Honey, you don't have to stay. I understand. I miss you. I'm glad you're here. So, all right. So that is ready for the treatment. And what I am using is a box of borax. If you are not familiar with borax, let me see. Will, can you bring me a bowl too so I can break up some of these crystals before I put it in the water? This is borax. It is an all-natural laundry booster, basically, is what it is. Yes, sir. And it's a white powder, and it's really good. I was introduced to borax when my husband worked at a dairy because it's a really good, really good scent remover. Exactly, Will. Thank you. And this one's been sitting in our laundry room, and so it gets nice and stuck together occasionally. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a bottle and kind of squish it, and Sandy, I was trying out for the USA Art Quest design team. Let's see if I can type here. Sodium. That was weird. Guys, my chat was all the way up at the top. Ha ha. Sigrid, I'm sorry you're sick. Sodium borate. Yeah, I guess that's meal team. So are we going faster now? Can y'all say something? Okay, I'm going to say the word. I'm saying the word sassafras. Somebody write that down real quick if you heard it. Thank you, Dawn. Hello, I'm Leslie Ray, and I'm really slow tonight. Hi, Mom.
Water's ready.
I'm sorry, Sigrid, you can't spell that. Okay, water's ready. I've made a mess with my powdered crystals here. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour hot water in here.
Very, very hot.
Very, very hot.
Just got done pouring.
My beautiful assistant. Put it down. Just put it down. Put it down. And what I do is I boil the water. And usually I let somebody else do this job because I usually don't do it that well.
You didn't miss?
I know I didn't miss. I'm so proud of me. Are you proud of me?
Yes, I am.
Move that. And I forgot to grab a spoon, but a whatever you call this. This is a paintbrush. I'm pouring in some crystals, okay, or borax. I'm sorry if I keep calling it crystals and y'all are misunderstanding me. But I'm pouring it in and I'm stirring. Let me see if I can. I'm good. See if I can zoom in on this so you can see what it's going to do. Okay. And at this moment, it's not going, it's not too saturated. It's dissolving. And so I'm going to add some more. And really, you can't do too much in here. You can do not enough. Okay? And it's still dissolving. Okay, it's starting to, it's just barely starting to collect on the bottom. I'm going to pour this up real quick here. Oh, no links. Hang on. I'll fix it. Just a second. Allow links. There you go. Try again, Amanda. Okay. You can see at the bottom down here. Watch. Let's see if it'll show you. Gosh, that's hot, guys. It's just starting to have stuff. Oh, look, there's a piece of glitter in there. Okay, hang on. Y'all get to look at me for just a second. I think he's probably going to stream Sunday. He has a postal shoot. And what I did is I went ahead and emptied the bowl. This is a little bowl. How big is this bowl? This bowl doesn't have a measurement on it. I would say that's probably about half a cup. But you can see here, you start seeing the powder start collecting down there. Can you see? See the powder is just barely starting to collect. Let's see if I can get that to focus for us. It's got a little bit. And if it has more is okay. But you'll start seeing the powder collect at the bottom. Let's see if you can see it through there. You can't really see it through there because it's so saturated. But you can see the little pieces of glitter floating around. That's funny. Okay. But it's starting to collect at the very bottom. So that means it's ready. And I'm just going to stick it in there. And it doesn't float. It just goes in. I love that it bubbles. I think that's cute. Now, I usually then just go set that, you know, on a counter somewhere and let it do its thing. It will start forming crystals pretty soon as it starts to do its as it does its cooling. It'll start forming those little crystals. Now, see, right now I decided to go with the flat one, but if I'd done one that had, you know, another one sticking out, that would look really cool too. Yes, I'm positive we're going to do Sunday. Because tomorrow Will has what they call a postal shoot with the with one of the Legion Hall people. It's either the American Legion or the
Mr. Cross.
It's Mr. Cross. Y'all don't know Dr. Cross, but anyway, that organization does a postal shoot, and the kids do the air rifle shooting with prone, which is laying down, kneeling, and standing. It's a pretty big shootout. And then that afternoon, or that evening, he has a court of honor. We'll look at this again. Remind me before we sign off, and we'll look at this again so you can see the crystals that will have formed. I'm going to have Will go take it and put it by the kitchen window because it'll be cooler there. So, Bubba, come take this. Is Daddy asleep in the car?
Yes.
Okay, you need to wake him up and have him come in. Okay, hang on.
And
Let me clean up my mess. Yes, it'll be a cool competition. His score, he will compete with all kinds of people around the world or around the state, and then, you know, they, at the end of the year, they award them medals for their placement. So, but guys, that's how simple that is to get this started, okay? And at the end of the show, you'll already start to see the crystals starting to form on it. Very, very cool. So, all right. All right. Now, my Christmas tree has a lot of purple on it. We painted our house purple probably 6 years ago or so, 7 years ago. And it has a lot of purple on it. So the ornaments I want to make with the Sizzix are going to be purple. And I'm going to cut real quick. I like to make the ball that has 20 shapes in it. When I first made this, like I said, Joy is the one who I made this with. And we recycled old Christmas cards. And I highly recommend you doing that if you have the old store-bought cards. It's very, very easy to recycle them. And you should, unless you have some special ones that you want to keep, recycling is always good. Since now the only cards I ever get hardly are handmade ones, and I don't want to recycle those, I'm going to cut my own. So people have ads. The first ornament will be finished tomorrow. You'll start seeing the crystals within the hour. I had him go put it by the kitchen window, and it'll be kind of cooler there. But tomorrow you'll see it completely crystallized. I'll take a picture and post it on my fan page. And if I am doing what I had planned to do with my planner, I will actually make a blog post. Wouldn't that be a boon? Are y'all excited? I'm going to make blog posts, post things, have the after show. That's what I do, is just make a quick video and have the after show. We'll call it that. The Crafty Geek after show. Yeah, go put it down. Go put it down, son.
Shut up.
That die came out. It didn't come out in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. It came out with Sizzix, but I know you can get it in the Stampin' Up! Catalog as well. So I pulled out some, hang on. I pulled out some cardstock. I don't want to use brown, that I wanted to use. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut several of these this shape so that I have enough to make the ornament that does 20. Now, you can do this with less. I like the 20-sided one because I just like it. The name of the die is Ornament Circle 3D. Sorry, guys. Ornament Circle 3D. Feel free to yell if you need to. And it's by Sizzix. I know you could get it in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. That's where I ordered mine. But it's not a special Stampin' Up! Sizzix. It's not a special Stampin' Up! Die. It's not one of their special ones. It's just a Sizzix die. Bye, Joy. Thank you for coming. You've seen this made anyway, so you know. You've got this down.
Borax is just starting sprinkling into the
Okay. We'll look at it again in a little bit. Don't go far.
really the same in my room.
Okay. All right. This is, for those of you who are not familiar, this machine is the Big Shot Express. And I love it. It is my favorite toy on the planet. And I didn't think initially I would love the Express model because it is electric, but I so do. My original Sizzix was the very first one, the red one that you had the lever and you did this, and I did that forever and a day. And then I got money and bought myself a big shot, which cranked. It cranked this way, okay? And I used that forever, and I wore it out. This cuts 4 at a time, and it creases them at the same time. Let's see if you can see where it's creasing them. And this is what the beauty of this die is. Can you see the crease? It's right here by my thumb. It creases the paper, so I don't have to figure out where the triangle goes. Because the first time I did it, we had 2 templates. And when I do my post, if you want, for those of you who don't have a Sizzix, I'll make a template of the circle and where the triangle goes. Because how this works is you fold up the little flippies on the triangle and you glue this all together. Yeah, you can use a template. Hi, Raven. Yes, they do have a Big Shot. I don't know if it's the Big Shot Express. The Express is the one that's electric. And I was going to tell you about that. Okay, so I broke my other one. I do a lot of projects, especially with the scouts and the schools. And I don't know, was in the middle of making these wonderful ornaments, and I'm not making that one tonight, but I may show you next week when I have my show for Christmas Eve. But one year we had to make, what was it, Mama? 8,500, something like that, of this ornament that was made with the I always forget the name of the company. I always call it Silhouettes, and they're not Silhouettes. This one particular die. And you had to cut 2 of the big ones, 2 of the little ones, and 2 of the medium ones, and fold it and score it. Spellbinders, thank you, Mama. And do all this stuff to it. And then once you got through all of that, you folded it, you stuck it on a round disc, and it is gorgeous. The most beautiful ornament I've ever seen. It's very involved. I will show you if you want to see it. I will do that next week. But I didn't get it together for this week. But it is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It's one that I saw on Split Coast Stampers, and we adapted. And it is amazing. So anyway, I was in the middle of doing that and hand cranking those out. I bust a cog, quite literally. And because I opened it up to check to see what was wrong with it. And it was busted. I called Sizzix. I said, Sizzix, I've busted my cog. And they said, no worries, we'll send you a new cog. I was like, okay, cool. So in the meantime, my mom loaned me her Sizzix. And so away we were going. We were cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. And Bill tells me, you got this really big box from Ellison today. I was like, a really big box? Why? I wonder why I got a box. because I'm expecting a little package, you know, with a cog in it, right? So I get home. Sure enough, it's a really big box. I open the box, and it's the Big Shot Express. And I was like, huh. So, of course, I called my mom and said, Mom, did you buy this for me and send it to me? And she's like, I wish. And she said, no. And the Big Shot Express, Bev, is the electric one. Yeah, I know, right, Vicki? So I look at Bill and I said, did you buy this one? And he goes, no, I don't have that kind of money. Because my husband's a stasher. He stashes money. Anyway, he's like, no, I don't have any money. And I said, okay. So we determined that nobody we knew bought this. So I called Sizzix. And I said, I'm confused. Because I was expecting a cog. And this is what I got. And so the lady says, well, hold on just a minute. So she goes away. And she comes back. And she says, well, do you like it? And I'm like, well, I don't know. You know, I don't know if I like it. And I said, I've never tried the electric one. I've only had the little one. And I think originally it was called the Big Kick. Anyway, so I've never tried this. And she says, well, try it. And if you don't like it, then call us back. Okay. So I tried it. And I love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Used to, when I would do these projects where we had to have a gazillion pieces of things die cut out, I would have like arthritis in my shoulder and in my elbow, and it would hurt. This, you just push a button and it goes, oh, it's brilliant. I tell you, brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And yeah, I am super stoked. And Mommy's saying she would go to the regular Big Shot because the electric one is not available anymore. I absolutely agree. The Vagabond is supposed to have more horsepower than this one does. However, like you were saying, some people are having stuff go wrong on it. The Big Shot Pro, I understand, the big one that does the 12x12, is supposed to be really good. And fortunately, all the dies that I've invested in for years and years and years will still work. Okay, what I did, what you just saw me do, is this scored for me. It cut on the round, and it scored on the rectangle. Now, if I had not used this die, if I had cut all these by hand, I would have to hand score all of those. And the easiest way to do that is to cut you a triangle template, stick it down in your circle, and go over the back of it with just like a ballpoint pen on a mouse pad. And that's the easiest way to do that. Okay? Now, I did 20. You could do this with 4 on top and 4 on bottom and make a cute little one. And I'll show you kind of what that would look like before I make it bigger. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a top with 5 together and a bottom with 5 together. And then the other 10 go in a strip around the middle. Okay? So, here's our things. I did a couple of different patterns in here. Imagine these with your gift cards. Or not gift cards, but your Christmas cards. They would be just really cool. I'm using Ye Old Beacon 3-in-1. It's my fave. It rocks. And it holds really fast and easy with this. Okay. And for the top, I'm going to do 5. But I'm going to do 2 of 4 and show you how big the one that is 8, where you've done 4 on top and 4 on bottom, because it's cute too. I love making ornaments. Last year for Christmas, everything on our tree was handmade. We made the garland out of little strips of paper about 1/2 inch that we glittered and we embossed, and we made a paper chain that went the whole length of the tree. And it looks a little squished this year. I'm not sure we're going to get it revived. I may hit it with a curling iron and see if we can get some of the squished ones not so squished. But we made ornaments with noodles, and that was so cool. We made some ones that looked like what do you call them? Snowflakes. We never did get them painted with chrome. I want to paint them with chrome, so I'm going to see how well they fared through the year, and if they did well, I'm going to go ahead and shoot them with some chrome. Okay, let me get another bottom. Bev, I think you should absolutely do a Ustream on doing ornaments. Also, Bev, a little secret. I know you are brilliant at the cross stitch. And if you had a Ustream on how to cross stitch, I think that would be amazing. Look, I got people lining up for you. I think that would be amazing, Bev. I think you should do it. I would totally come. And you would make my Mother's Day, which I think is always a plus. See, I've been working on a project for her, and I can't do that on screen because she knows how to work the replay. So, yes, definitely. I can't tell you, Mommy. I don't know what it is. You're not allowed to know. You only have to wait a week and a day. You'd set your alarm, Sandy. Babe, I would shout it from the rooftops, honey, if you're going to do a stream. You know I would. Okay, so let's pretend we have these 4. And all I'm doing, guys, when I'm gluing these is I'm lining up the little circles. So I like to go back and kind of touch them, make them all mined. Make sure their little edges are lined up pretty. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this without this one sticking to itself because I accidentally put glue on this side here. All right, what you do is if you were doing the one with 8, you'd have 4 on the bottom and 4 on top, and you'd stick it together. Okay. And it would make a cute little ornament. Let me do it this way so you don't see the open spot. Here we go. Hang on. You'd have one about yay size. Okay? Isn't that cute? But we want the big one! Can we supersize that? Why, yes. Yes, we can. With no calories. Now, this is what would be just crazy fun if you didn't mind someone tearing your ornament apart. Put your present in here. Wouldn't that be insane? Or have it where one of the little doors just kind of velcroed or something so you could open it. Or like the top, fix it where you could take the top off. Yeah, with little Velcro dots or something across the top. So you could sneak a present under there. Wouldn't that be awesome? You need to reorganize your boards. Oh, on Pinterest? Yeah. So see, here's the top or the bottom, whichever the case may be. Now, talking on that, let's go ahead and stick one of these in the middle so we don't have to think about it. And all I'm doing, I know it's red, it's not purple. Just work with me, people. It'll be okay. I've been pinning a lot of paper ornaments lately because I have paper and, well, paper is fun to work with. Okay, so here's this. I made just a little, all I did was make a knot here in the end of this. Okay. And I'm going to stick it right here inside this. Okay. Now, the neat thing about this die that's so brilliant is these are all cut the same. They're all perfect. They go together so easy. But, Sandy, I hope you feel better. I'll talk to you later. And I promise I will take pictures and stick them on the web for everybody to see the finished crystal. We're going to look at it tonight before we finish. Will said it was already starting to stick. But, okay. So we got a top and a bottom. And I guess if you really wanted to, you could stick these together and make a skinny ornament. Look. That would be cute too, wouldn't it? So it could make like a little flowery skinny ornament. It'd be kind of fun. Like a flying saucer. Yep, you could. Alright. But bigger, you say? You want bigger? Nobody's playing with me. Y'all are all just sitting there saying, yes, I see a flying saucer. I love you, Sandy. I hope you feel better. If I don't see you next week, I hope you have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Bigger. Thank you. But wait, there's more. We have Ginsu knives. No, we don't have Ginsu knives. Not today. But your Sizzix can cut metal and still cut paper. The crowd goes wild. They're not too much work, Raven. You can do it. Raven has some pretty cool pins on her board. No, it's a different Raven, isn't it? Yes, I love that my Sizzix cuts foam. And the Sizzix is the only machine I know that if you decide, for whatever reason, like for your child's birthday, that you need to cut out sponge, and not the cute little sponge that's, you know, real skinny and flat, but the dollar store sponges, because you can't afford to buy that much sponge. But you can buy a 10-pack of dollar store sponges. You can slam that puppy in there and crank them out, and they will cut them without even batting an eyelash. Best toy ever. Yes, we cut the sponge into shapes. Like I have just a basic flower, and we cut a whole bunch of flowers out. And that way they can use it either in the bath, or they can do sponge painting with them, or whatever. Or bats or ghosts. Exactly. Exactly, Mom. You know, the ones that grow, they're fun too. Don't get me wrong. They're a lot of fun. However, in a pinch, take your big cello dollar store and stick it through there. Yes, I have dies for this ornament. I have a die for the big star, the 5-point star. And then I have a die for the snowflake. And the snowflake is just beautiful when you do it. But I was not trying to feature ornaments made with your Sizzix. I was trying to feature ornaments that you actually could make, and just using my Sizzix for its convenience. Oh, Raven, you can stick anything in there. Leather. I do leather a lot. Fabric. If you do fabric, it's best to back it with something. A backing sheet, or run it through some peel and stick, heat and bond, one of those kinds of things. Stitch Witchery, any of those. But even if you don't have it on something that has a paper backing, go ahead and put paper down with it to cut it. It just makes it simpler. It just cuts easier. And now they have a new set of dies. Most dies are the steel rule dies, but I can cut the Spellbinders dies, which is now what they call, is that the framelets, Mom, are about the size of a Spellbinders. I can cut the Spellbinders dies, and of course the framelets. I can cut the Quick Cuts dies. In my collection, I have Cuttlebug dies, I have Boss Cut dies, I have Spellbinders dies, and then, of course, you know, Sizzix's own line of dies. Of dies? Oh, Bev, as many as you can afford. You're asking the wrong person. I always, on my Christmas list, have a list of dies that I want. And in fact, when I won the Fave Crafts blog hop last month, I bought a die. And I saw Molly had asked me to show the die. I'll show it in a minute, Molly, if you're still here. Or even if you're not still here, I'll show it in a minute, Molly. Did Molly leave? No, Molly's still on the list. Yeah, exactly. Tons and tons. I have a bunch of cross-stitch patterns that I scanned. A friend of mine used to get cross-stitch books from the UK, and she let me scan a bunch of them. If I wouldn't be infringing upon like about 5 million copyright laws, I'd share them, but something tells me I'd be going to jail. Something like that, I'd probably get caught. In a die emergency. It's a Sizzix emergency. I had to pay full price. Honest, Ossifer, I had to buy it. And I had to pay full price for it. Fold laundry. Okay. Thanks for coming, Sigrid. I hope you feel better too. Okay, here's this one. Sigrid, I'll send you my laundry to fold too, okay? Okay. This is my last triangle before I put the lid on. Now, I'm not going to do this tonight, but I will probably do it later. What we did when I made this with my aunt is to finish these off really pretty. She had me go over my edges with a 3D, like a puff paint. Or not necessarily a puff paint, but like a slick liner version of tulip, or one of those paints in a tube that you could get this edge nice. I think it would be gorgeous to do that with like a Krylon pen with silver or gold. Good night, Raven. You can always watch the playback, Raven. Don't forget that. I do love the dependability of the Ustream for recording. Yes. Oh, yes, Mom. Definitely. With glitter. Ooh, let's do that. I have glitter. I like glitter, me. This one down here is trying to stick to me. I have sticky right here. Except for in Molly's world. Molly says not everything is better with glitter. But she could admire it from afar. Okay, so see, here's this part. And this, if you did this inside out, because you could build this with these on the inside also, okay? Aw, don't be sad. Don't be sad, Molly. I won't use glitter in front of you, okay? But, you can build these with this on the inside so that you have just all the little triangles showing, 20 shaped faces of triangles, and that would be fun too. Because there are 20 of these, it's called dodeca, okay? 20, 2 tens, dodeca. This is a dodecahedron, okay? That's your fancy math term. There you go. Good job. These would be great for Advent. These would be great for all kinds of stuff. These would be great just because they're pretty. And see, this only makes this size one, this size circle. But the freedom of cutting them yourself is because you could make them different shapes. Now, Molly, I used a pad of paper. This one is called Posy, I believe, maybe. It's got embedded glitter. So there's a little glitter in there. Somewhere you'll see the embedded glitter. Maybe there. It's got embedded glitter in it. You can barely see the sparkle. I know. This is my second one of these pads. I really like this pad. This pad speaks to me. Actually, I've had more than just two. Mom shared some sheets out of hers that I really liked also. So I've had more than two. Yes, I think the gold leaf pen would be beautiful on this. I think glitter is beautiful on this. I've made these with, before I had whole bunches of really nice pattern paper like this. I've used just plain cardstock and embossed it. So like taken a whole sheet of, well, several whole sheets of cardstock and used prismatic embossing powder with snowflakes or whatever, or swirls or polka dots or whatever your image, and embossed the whole paper with heat set embossing. Okay, and then cut out my circles so that all of these, like this would be a blue ball with really pretty snowflakes embossed on it. So there's so many things. When you're making these with your upcycled cards, make your triangle have different little images. So like maybe you make a woodland themed one. It has like little squirrels and bunnies and, you know, that kind of stuff. Or make one with just images of poinsettias. Or, you know, make just a gold one with gold cards that you've saved. Okay, so here is the ball. And so after we did our edging, because see, right now you can see the white edges. Alright, if you were doing this craft with your kids, this is where I would hand you the Elmer's glue and the big chunky glitter and say, let's glitter this puppy. But we're doing this with the fine lady crafters. They may not want glitter, the Krylon pen, or use the one of the skinny, what are those pens called? You know, like you would use for fabric painting. You could use it on here, okay? Like Tulip makes a fine line pen that you would do fine line stuff on. Now, then what she did, which I've never seen anybody else do except for my Aunt Joy, is she put little gold balls or little pearls in the little points to make them, you know, just finish that one little finishing touch. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now you could probably, if you had the right size bling, you couldn't get too big a bling. If you had the itsy bitsy bitsy bling, you could bling it in those little spots. And I think it would be amazing. Before the crash that happened over here to my left, I had some readily accessible bling. Not right now. So, yeah. Oh, a posy checkbook cover. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mom, what is it, not the Brilliance ones. Was it Brilliance ink, or what was the one we have in the teardrops? Is that Brilliance? Brilliance ink would look really pretty on that, wouldn't it? So I'm gonna make, I have enough paper to make me a couple of more of these for my tree. I think these would be gorgeous. And I'm gonna outline them with gold or glitter. Or gold glitter. Because I have gold glitter. Okay. But yes. So this is very, very cool. I love this. Bev, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because this is part of my New Year's resolution, but I am going to start this now so I can get kind of in the swing of it. On either the Saturday or the Sunday following the show, I'm going to go outside or, you know, set up a box inside, take some good pictures, and I will make a template for this so that you can have a template to use that will have the equilateral triangle inside the circle. So, that is part of my New Year's resolution, is make sure I have a follow-up on my blog, because I have a link page on my blog to all of this, but I don't ever follow up on my blog, and I need to connect those two. I think connecting those two will make it a more cohesive front for me for doing my my craftiness. So anyway, so there we go. There's the ball. Well, thank you, Bev. Okay, let's see. Ah, here's my die. Here it is. Don't you love it, Molly? Isn't it great? It's so pretty. Don't you love my ATC die? Okay, this is ATC. Oops, there we go. ATC in corners. It's a Tim Holtz alterations die. And look at this. How cha-cha is this? Okay, let me tell you what you're looking at. Okay, the other dies that I have not had this. So when you cut your die, your substrate that you're cutting goes in and you have to dig it out. Yes, it is magnetic. So if you don't have another thing to stick in here, like another little die, because Sizzix makes dies to go in here. So if you wanted to make a heart in the middle of your card, you could. Okay, if you want to make a keyhole in the middle of your heart, you could. If you want to make little dots up here to make it a little mini book, which, Mom, hello, need to get the dots now. This is our words. Yes, he has words. I think they would fit this way in here because they fit on his tag as well. So this is magnetic. This sticks in here. So if you're just cutting cards, then this keeps the material that you cut from going all the way down. Because this is a steel rule die, see, it has depth to it. These are steel rules. Wouldn't step on these. They're sharp. I'm not pressing really hard, but you could cut yourself if you really tried, but I'm not going to try. This will cut anything you want to cut. This will cut sponge. It'll cut cardboard. It'll cut cardstock. It'll cut bookboard. It'll cut metal. It will cut cork. It will cut leather. It will cut foam. Anything you want to cut. So you can make your ATCs out of anything. Plastic, like the big thick sheets of acrylic, it'll cut that. Okay? But can you stand to see more? If that was not enough in one die. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready? I know you're ready. Look, you see them? You see the little corners? The little photo corners? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, photo corners. Is that not precious? So, for those of you who asked me, honey, don't you have a cutter? Yes, I have a cutter, but it's not near as cool as this. So, good night, Amanda. Yes, Dawn has a nice big cutter. That's a very nice cutter. So, yeah, this is something when I saw that that the company that sponsored the Fave Crafts, the Cut Rate Crafts company, had this die, I was like, oh yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm going straight for that die. So, okay. Now, what I want to do, it's already 10:30. Why don't I show you? Oh, thanks for coming, Jen. I'm going to show you the crystal, and we'll wrap it up for this Friday night. Okay? So, give me one quick second, and I will go get the cutter. Hang on just a minute. Here, look at this slide. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's already starting on the side of this to form little crystal here. But listen. Can you hear it? Just a little bitty tinkle. And it's, I can see them. I don't know if you can see them. I mean, right now, I know it looks like wet pipe cleaner, but, but there's little bitty ones starting to form. Okay. And so there's little bitty ones starting to form, and they're starting to form on the outside. This is still pretty warm. I mean, this has been what? Not even an hour. So this is still pretty warm, but as it cools down, the crystals start forming, and they'll keep attaching to that, and it won't look just like wet pipe cleaner. Absolutely, Pam. You can add dye. You could add anything. The neat thing, the dye will make them, instead of having this look where you see the color underneath the white crystals, if you put it on white, you'll see colored crystals. If that makes any sense, it'll be different. How many projects do I have going at one time, Bev? Oh my gosh, a lot. You could probably even add glitter to this, Pam, if you wanted to. Yeah, absolutely. As many as possible. As many as my brain will wrap around. Now, Molly, did you see my quilling? My beads, which is a fancy form of quilling. I love these. And they showed today, I found some really excellent instructions how to make, using the same kind of technique, how to make balls for the tree. And part of it, you build like a thick strip to build the middle, and then you have skinnier pieces and smaller pieces. And then they quilled along the outside where you had like that 2-inch strip for the middle. So using the same idea of coloring your paper, they did that with that. So yeah, I love this colored paper idea. I'm addicted to making little beads now. I'm gonna try several different ones. Thanks, Molly. I'm gonna send this. Well, not this one, but another one. I made 2 of them. I'm gonna send up to the Secura booth for CHA to go with Terry. So that's my plan. So hopefully other people will see it and love it too. But anyway, I'm glad y'all came. It is addictive. I'm like going, ooh, I need to roll a paper bead. Oh, a purple one will be great. And oh, a blue one. And I came this close to toying with the idea of making a Christmas tree for y'all, an ornament where they had taken wire here, and all the lines in between were rolled beads. And I was just like, ooh, that would be fun. But I'd promised you some other things, so I went with what I promised you. So, well, thank you for coming. I hope I inspired you to do some stuff. I'm going to make you a template for this so y'all can make these beautiful balls. These are fun. So much fun. And I may make a couple of sizes, so you can make like a big one, a small one this size, and like a small one and a little bit bigger one. Because these are addictive too, especially if you're doing, all of your old Christmas cards. These are really cool. When I first started, I did old Christmas cards and gave them away as gifts, and they were really, really nice. Now most of my friends give me brilliantly handmade cards like this, and we would not dare do that to that, right? See, Fab didn't make it because he's probably snoozing, which he should be. But his card did. So, beautiful. So, we're not making this into an ornament. We're cherishing this as it is. It is very gorgeous. Molly is beautiful in real life. Love it. I understand Molly got a Fab original as well. So, but that's my show for tonight, guys. I will be here next Friday. I will be here on time next Friday at 8 o'clock. Oh, you got a Vince original. Awesome. And then I am taking a break. I know we have 5 Fridays, and I'm going to have to call on Amanda and maybe some other people to step in for the odd show, because for the first time in years, I have the opportunity to spend the New Year's with not only my husband, who normally goes off hunting, but also our best friends. So we're gonna take a vacation, and where I'm going to be, there is not going to be access to Ustream, unfortunately. So I will miss the odd show on the New Year's Eve ish, the New Year's Eve. But I'll be here Christmas Eve. And then in the new year, I will be doing my regular schedule for Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig, which is the second and fourth Fridays of the month at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then on the third Friday, because it's part of my New Year's resolution to do more scrapbooking, I will have one show a month on the third Friday dedicated to scrapbooking. And it will be Leslie Ray's Scrappy Gig on the third Friday at 8 p.m. So if you want to scrapbook, or you just want to come and laugh at me while I cut paper and paste it and put pictures on, you can do that too. Join me. Come be comrades in arms. We'll have a lot of fun, I hope. And I will get some scrapbooking done, because I'll be doing a scrapbook challenge to help motivate myself, and hopefully trying to enter some of my scrapbook pages in other people's challenges as well. But my scrapbook challenge at the beginning of next year is going to be a page a week, which roughly runs into 4 pages a month. So if you want to join me, I will be having that. I'd like to remind you that I still have my holiday crafty gig coming. Not holiday crafty gig, sorry. Holiday handmade crafty challenge going on my blog. I know there are lots and lots and lots of you still doing handmade projects. And as I see them popping up on Facebook and I get your permission, I'm adding them to that. But feel free to add. You don't have to have a blog. You can just have a place that it's hosted. It can be like a photo bucket or on your Facebook or whatever. You just have to have that link. And if you need help, please, please, please come do that. No, Pam, I haven't been watching my channel. Yeah, Bev, Ustream has like an automatic, when you get over a certain number of viewers, it has an automatic Ustream bot, like a robot, that comes in and helps. Yeah, it just does it. It's okay. Yeah, it's good. But I have not been doing that. There's a couple of challenge blogs that I really, really like, Pam, that I'm going to, like I said, try to do my own, take my stuff and put into their challenges. The thing with those kinds of things is I don't like people who do one card. Well, let me rephrase that. There are people who do a challenge. They make one card and put it in 20 things. That's really overwhelming to me, especially being a design team member for 2 challenge blogs where I have to go and comment on all those, and then you see that big long list of what this one card entails, and that's crazy to me. That's why I don't ever enter very many challenges, is because I see that all the time, and I really want one card or one thing per challenge, because wow, you know, one card being able to fit into 20 challenges, that's quite a feat. And that's really kind of amazing that some people can do that. My brain doesn't think that way. My brain says, okay. And that's why I have not entered very many cards in like Fab's challenge. And so I'm going to make a point to have a Christmas card and a Halloween card at least once a month in Fab's challenges. And so, and it's going to be an independent card. It's not going to be my Festive Friday card for, you know, his Christmas challenge. It's going to be a card that I specifically made for Fab's Christmas card challenge. So that's part of my blogging creativity challenges to myself for the new year. I got everything accomplished this year that I wanted to do, and I'm really proud of what I've done. But there's some other areas that I felt like I wanted to work more on, and doing challenges is one of them, because I think challenges kind of helps keep you really, really creative and keeps your mind trying to think outside the box. So there you go. So if I don't see you next week, I will be here. But if you're not here, I wish everybody to have a wonderful Christmas, a happy Hanukkah, a blessed Yule, a happy Kwanzaa, everything. You know, peace on earth. I started out with my peace on earth bookmark, and I don't know what side I put it on, but peace on earth, goodwill toward men, people. Have a beautiful holiday. Enjoy your friends and family, or however you celebrate. Enjoy it. Live it to its fullest. And I will be here Christmas Eve, and hopefully doing some fun crafties. Maybe one or two more ornaments to stick on the tree, or a last minute idea. Won't show you what I'm making mommy until after the fact. So she has to be the first person to see that. So thank you for coming. I appreciate you all. And here's my slide for reminding you that second and fourth Friday of the month, and we'll have a new show coming up at the new year. And the products are made available through cutandpastememories.com. Don't forget, we still have Crafty Gig as our special code if you want to take advantage of some savings. Mom put a special Crafty Gig code for us. I know it's at least 10% off. It may be 15% off, actually. Yes, 15% off. Thank you, Dawn. And I will talk to you next week. Everybody have a wonderful week, and take care.